things we've talked about as a commission is how when we travel to Chicago, Minneapolis, and someone asks us we're from Iowa, then we feel like we have to explain it. We can't do that anymore. Iowa's a great place to be. We all know it. We have to start telling people why. That really will make a difference. As well as continuing to do other marketing efforts, continuing to improve our quality of life amenities and things of that nature. So there's definitely work to do. Based on what we've identified in the first part of the report, there are really 4 things specifically that I just mentioned that we can do, and they are in priority order. Number 1, bridging the wage gap and reducing student loan debt. Number 2, expanding career pathway efforts, really helping to delineate for young people what their career pathways are, so that it's not just trying to figure out where can I land any kind of an internship, how do I get from point A to point B. We really need to help facilitate so that young people know what their pathway could look like. 3, investing in quality of life issues and amenities for young people. As many of you would expect, a lot of us who currently live here talk about that as kind of one of our main priorities is what are we going to do on our Thursday nights? What are we going to do recreationally and continued educationally along the way? So that's number 3. And then number 4, improving state image through effective marketing. We're going to continue to work through this commission, through the Department of Economic Development, to come up with a plan to help market the state in a much more effective and efficient way. That all being said, to really narrow down the conclusions of the commission, it is the conclusion of the Generation Iowa Commission that if the state fixed the wage gap and the student loan debt issues, many of these other things would start to work themselves out. You get more people who can, feel like they can afford to live here, to afford to pay off their student loan debt, and really start to become active in their communities. Some of these recreational things, some of these diversity things that we talk about will really start to work themselves out. So that's really priority 1. But in general, creating a brain gain of college graduates, getting more people with bachelor's degree level and higher is really our number 1 priority, because it matches the specific brain drain problem that we identified in the state. So that's really been the focus of this commission and will continue to be. We pledge to continue this important work and provide the legislature and governor's office with the clearest pathway that we can provide to help make that happen. And finally, I would just like to say that last year, last legislative session, the governor and the legislature showed great wisdom and vision in creating this commission and asking young people what it is exactly that are creating this brain drain problem. Our hope as a commission is that they will show that same wisdom and vision in reading through our recommendations and coming up with some solutions that will really start to reverse the trend and start to see a greater population of young people living and working and calling Iowa home. That, I believe, wraps up everything we have to say. We're all available. We are all available. If any of you have any questions, we'll hang out here for a while. That being said, thanks to everyone for coming.
We'll take any questions from the press right now.
Well, your group continues now after this? What does your work involve after this?
Yeah, we will continue to work, hold open forums across the state, and hold monthly meetings. February 8th, we're going to be at Iowa State in Ames. And that will really be our first opportunity to sit down with a group of college students to go over the report and what's in it and get some feedback on kind of how they feel about it. But yeah, we will continue to hold monthly meetings. We're going to continue doing this work and really build on what's in the report. Again, I stress there's a lot in this report, and it's really only 4 months worth of work. So we're going to continue to do what we've been doing.
Do you have any estimate on what the higher education tax credit or the targeted student loan repayment assistance program would cost?
I don't have that information yet, no.
I guess to the Lieutenant Governor, the budget plan comes out Tuesday. Is there any money in the budget proposal for either of those items?
The budget plan comes out on Tuesday.
It's also a tight budget.
I'm sorry, say.
I said it's also a tight budget, and this is being proposed to you.
Yes, it is a tight budget. And we know that if we can't do something in year 1, that doesn't mean that it needs to go away. We are now, of course, at a point where the budget is done. legislative agenda is pretty well set for this year. That doesn't mean something can't be slipped in, as you know, if we need to, but we are very late in the season for new initiatives this year. That doesn't mean that any of these initiatives need to go away. We can look at them, we can begin the work that we need to do. This is a beginning, as Kyle said. This is not the completion of the work of this commission. This is the beginning of their work.
Yeah, I would like to reiterate that as well. The commission is very well aware that this is a long-term project. And so I don't think we're going to be disheartened or anything in terms of the realities that are the 2008 legislative session when that happens. We're obviously here to be helpful to help them accomplish whatever they can, but this is a long-term project for us and really reversing the trend.
So, Lieutenant Governor, are you saying that this won't be taken up next year or this legislative session? You said it's late in the year and...
I truthfully have not read yet through this. This report has just been released. I have received a copy of it in all truthfulness about 15 minutes ago on my desk. I will read it thoroughly. The governor will read it thoroughly. We feel very strongly that we have selected absolutely top-notch people on this commission, that the work that they have done is good, comprehensive, and we are anxious to work with them through this next year and the years after that to try to, as they said, to change this dynamic. We need these people in Iowa. But many of us that are here today have to be a little bit realistic that, you know, we're not going to be in the workforce in 10 or 15 years. They will be. And we have to do what we can. The governor and I both are committed to do what we can to make sure that this is an inviting state, that it is a competitive state, and when they look at the options, they choose Iowa. Anything else? Okay, yes, one more.
What specifically is the role of the commission in identifying and implementing the solutions to the problems identified?
Truthfully, we do have legislative ex officio members who have been part of the process all along. Our objective is to help them when they ask us. We've done our best to really outline our recommendations and put as much thought into what it would look like and how we think it should operate as we can. But again, it's 4 months worth of work. There will be more work that needs to be done, and we're absolutely here to help work out those bugs when we're asked. But ultimately, passing these things is a legislative function. All right, thanks everyone for coming.